Okay, welcome to Solitude as I light my Palo Santos, and we are going to do a reading because I know that in the astrology zone, there are supposedly 6 or more planets in retrograde, so I heard. Okay, so I'm sitting here confused and I just feel stagnant, but I know I'm not stagnant because I know I've been taking appropriate, actions to fulfill, a destination, a purpose. But it just feels so still. And again, retrograde is all about that stillness. Okay, so we're gonna do a reading for the surrounding energy and the self. Okay. Oh no, just a moment here. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. So we're gonna do a Celtic cross with all of the decks. Oh no, I dropped my cup. So we're gonna do a Celtic cross with all of the decks. So subconscious, conscious, past, and then one more. Nope. So, perfect. Okay. Do the same thing. Energy. Awesome. Subconscious. Oh yeah, so yeah, I know the Celtic cross has additional, but I'm only doing the cross itself. So, subconscious, conscious. Conscious. Okay. And then past. And then present. I mean, future. Okay. So because this deck is practically breaking, we're just going to spread it out. And we're gonna pick. Okay. So for the present. Okay. For the challenge, the challenge. Okay, for the subconscious. For the conscious. The conscious. For the past. And then for the future. Alright, so we're going to start with this one. And let's see. For the present moment, what we're seeing here is that there is an ending here. Some type of ending, some type of recognition about an ending. Okay? So, for the collective, there's this So you know how the chosen ones, they've had an awareness of their purpose and the truth. There is some type of power, some type of you know, a higher existence, some type of like other dimension. You know, something that isn't seen but is felt and is real. So again, the chosen ones went through that. They went through the process of going through that, right? What we're seeing here is the opposite. The lower frequencies are, which are called karmics, or they're called you know, I would say lower vibrational worshipers, right? Because they don't really care about, you know, evolving or, you know, attaching on to something more fulfilling, fueling, and, you know, whatever. Again, so the low vibrationals are going through an awareness of the death that they've created for themselves, okay? And this could be coming off as, you know, just feeling lethargic, feeling like, you know, they had nothing to live for, you know, feeling just an overwhelming amount of, you know, ending, that this will never change, okay? And this is what they've earned. This is what they've worked towards, okay? So for those, right, so the lower vibrationals, the karmics, whatever, this is what they worked for. This is the energy they put in. But now they're like having this great awareness. And so for most people, you might be feeling a lot of tension, or just an awakening of, or just an awareness of the tension around you. Like you can see it around you. You can see the people just, you know, kind of like rolling on by, or you can see how they're wasting time, you know, selling drugs or doing drugs, or you know, getting involved in gang related, or murder, or, you know, you could just see them wasting away, right? And for a lot of them, like, if these men, you know, used you for sex, you can see them kind of like desperate for, you know, women that they can't find that satisfaction. Or if you were abused, they're now being called out for that abuse. Okay, so things are not the same. They have this great awareness that, oh my God, what have I done? Or, oh my God, what's happening? What's going to happen to me? Okay, because they're now feeling the effects of this apathy. Okay, what's blocking so this is, I had asked for the self and the environment. So the present moment is really speaking about an ending of something that isn't working anymore, and it's about an ending of someone who was used to taking, but is now feeling the effects of, oh shit, like this isn't working. I got called out. I don't feel the energy anymore, or this isn't where I should be, or, you know, something is making them feel like I can't do this anymore. Okay, because what's crossing them is a wall. Yeah, and they're concerned because there's defeat nearby, and that's the challenge. There's something. I'm gonna pull an extra card for this one, and I'm gonna pull from this deck right here. Okay, so we know that the skull is talking about, yeah, because the truth came out. Okay, we're actually gonna get the book and find out what the skull means. I hope you don't mind a long video. Okay, so let's see. The skull. Okay, it means transitions, reality, grief. Okay, so transitioning in their reality and grieving over, you know, over the truth. And the truth is a low vibration that they've entertained for a very long time, that they're now accepting, or if they didn't choose to accept it, they got called out. The truth got called out. Okay. Now I've seen this multiple times. I've seen this energy multiple times, and it seems to be progressing. Right? At first, it would state, yeah, they know, but then they'd go back to like maybe same old habits, or some type of avoidance. But now it seems to be getting stronger. Now, I always asked the higher powers, the God force, why why does it take so long, and why, and it's just like when the chosen ones were going through an experience to evolve, to become chosen, it wasn't carefree, and it wasn't like happy, and it was painful. It was definitely painful. And so, these things are a process. Now, I don't understand why things have to be, and I say have to be, quote unquote have, because it just seems ridiculous. But again, this is the earth. We're on the earth. Okay? We haven't transitioned to a different dimension yet. While we're on earth, we're transcending, transmuting the energies that were given to us, the energies that we were born in, the energies that has followed us, like the patterns, the routine, the choices, the surrounding energy, you know what I mean? Again, we all have to take accountability for who we are, where we are, what we did do and did not do, and who did what and how, it's just, it all adds up to your story. You are bearing your cross on this planet Earth. And every time I question, why does it take so long? Why is it so painful? If God is almighty, why doesn't he just fix it? Just fix it. But that's not your story. Like, you can't just miraculously give someone everything and then expect them to have a story, because all they're going to have is, miraculous, good, love, happy, And the truth is, earth is both heaven and hell. It's the middle ground of heaven and hell. Right? So now, right, I was going to pull an extra card. Oh, yes, it's the truth. I did. Okay, good. Right. The truth came out. And now they're needing to deal with that. The blocking here is they're meeting some type of defeat. And they're very worried. They're very worried. They're like, oh no, what's going to happen? Right? I'm going to pull up. Yeah. Because they know where it's leading, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be a good place. Okay, so. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything, if I would say the journey. So for the present energy, yeah, judgment. And then for the challenge, growth. Okay. So this is going to be one of those moments where they're going to make it, or they're going to be broken. Okay. Now, let's move to the subconscious. The subconscious is talking about feeling as if they allowed this money to control them. Okay, subconsciously, I let money do this to me, or I let money make me treat people this way, or I let money, right, kind of make me power hungry, right? So there's this recognition about, they did it for the money, and they felt like they were a puppet. They felt like, it controlled them. This is subconscious, so this is the truth that they're going through. Okay? Yeah. And okay, so when this truth came out, right? Okay, again, the present moment is talking about they're meeting an ending, a transition, some grief, right? About what they've earned, what they did that led to an apathetic feeling, like, oh God, I can't believe I did this, and I can't do this anymore, because the truth is revealed. Whether they recognize it or not, it got revealed. Again, if they didn't recognize it, somebody else did. Somebody else pointed it out. They got revealed, which created a blockage, and now there's a major concern because they're like, oh no, it's going to lead to a very harsh road, a dead end, a heartbreak, and this is nothing good. Subconsciously, because this truth came out, and now they're being slammed with the truth. Now, again, I had said self and environment. This is speaking about an environment, energy. So this is a moment, a time where those people who focus on the low vibrations, they're now facing a very heavy burden. Okay? Because subconsciously they're like, I never made time for love. And there's that awareness, like, oh no, I can't believe, I had opportunities to share love, to be loved, right? To receive love, and I never took it. I never took it seriously, or I just didn't care because money was my main focus. Okay? Now, as we move to the conscious, it's talking about they're being very careful when it comes to some type of shelter that they're in, and how they're giving in that shelter. So let's pull a card for the conscious. So this is like one of those they're now being careful about what they're giving consciously. So subconsciously, they have this kind of challenge already of a blockage. Like, oh no, this overwhelming burden to carry because of a truth. So subconsciously, they're like, I never made time for that. Oh no. So consciously, they're like, okay, I need to take baby steps, very carefully, very sensitively, right? I need to protect this because this could be my last chance. So the glove means money, status, complacency. So none of these really stand out to me. I always see the glove as something needing to be more careful, right? Kind of like protecting the DNA, or some type of like protection, like a condom or something, right? It could be latex, or it could be just covering your hands from the cold or something, right? So this is like a protective shield about something that they're in, a shelter, some type of home base, some type of, internally perhaps as well, about how they're giving love and how they're going to commit, right? They're thinking about that now. Okay? Because in the past, they always gave into this kind of, very beastie energy. They really didn't see how any of this kind of, like, the moments that were in the past, they never really saw it as an opportunity to evolve, or, to take advantage of when it came to growth, and not necessarily, kind of physical desires, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like sex or money, or, just kind of self-absorbent, goals, right? They never really saw it as an opportunity to expand the mind, the heart, right? The soul. They saw it as just, it's here, whatever. Let me just do it. Let me just take it. Let me just whatever, right? And so they really never thought too much about it. They just went on by moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second. It really didn't have much meaning, much value, and they were always kind of giving to their beastie nature and their kind of like, physical desires, and those kind of, I want to say sinful desires, because like, even though certain things in the sinful list isn't necessarily a one-way street, because there are different detours and routes that those particular sins can be considered a sin, but not necessarily a sin. You know what I mean? Like, for example, let's take sex for example. Right? Some people might say that it's a sin, or whatever, but it's a particular type of sexual behavior that is considered a sin. And a lot of people think masturbation is a sin. Again, there's different detours and routes when it comes to those sins, that are for a lot of people, they still consider them sins, but they're not necessarily a sin. So again, there's different detours on those particular subjects. Again, so now we're going to move to the future here. And what the future is saying here is, okay, it's these cards here. I was just saying to myself, didn't I already pull all of them? But these two cards were down here, that's why. I'm supposed to have it in front of them. So, now, oh wait, let's pull a card from this deck on the past. We're 20 minutes in, guys, so hope you don't mind. And if there's any suggestions that you'd like to leave, please, I can learn. So we have addiction for the past energy. Again, following their physical desires. Okay, so now for the future, we have Hedgehog, Privileged Lady, and then we have the Giving card. Okay, so let's look up Hedgehog real quick. It's vulnerability, hiding the heart, tenderness. So I always see the hedgehog as someone who, again, I see this as a very protective animal. They are, very spiky. So I always see when I see this card, that's the first thing I think of, spikes. They're spikes, the hedgehog. I think I've been mixing porcupine and hedgehog. I have to look it up now, because I was just thinking, does the hedgehog throw out their spines, like their little spikes on the back? I know those are porcupines. Anyway, that's not the point. Okay, we have Hedgehog, Privileged Lady, and the Giving card. Okay, again, we said that the hedgehog meant vulnerability, hiding the heart, and tenderness. So yeah, so it could be like the spikes are maybe trying to prevent the Privileged Lady from receiving. Okay, so this is where the future is now indicating the self. Okay, so we went from present, challenge, subconscious, conscious, and past, which we're speaking about the really low vibrations of those who really took the physical, sinful, kind of like the fast route nature. And there was this great, awakening about it, and how they're feeling, they're carrying their cross, they're realizing, oh shit, right? What the fuck did I do, and why did I do that? And I never took the time to love, to give me love, to share love, to take love, to kind of like just embrace love. And so now they're stepping very they're tiptoeing now very carefully, and they're making sure that whatever is left, that they're going to try to salvage. They're going to try to really protect this and really try to move this forward for it to grow like a seed. Okay, now we move to the future, and now it's indicating the hedgehog is looking at the Privileged Lady, and the Privileged Lady is looking at the card of giving. So we're going to pull a card from here. See what the hedgehog is trying to say here. Yeah. So okay. So there's this. What the hedgehog is saying is that the people who did take the time to love, to evolve, to move forward, to not stay stagnant, to even though that the path might have been painful, they were able to do the work, put the work in, move forward. It's talking about the hedgehog being recognized as the dragonfly here, which is about things coming to light. They changed, they adapted, they healed, they're moving forward. Okay, and they're moving forward with privilege, and they're moving forward with privilege of receiving. Okay, and so I feel like there's also this awareness. Well, this is a storm right here, this whole thing, which is indicating the external, and those who really took more time to indulge rather than sacrifice and kind of again evolve, right? This whole storm here is about that kind of low frequency, and how now it's coming to the light about it, right? The future is talking about, I don't think they're necessarily paying attention to this future here. okay? Because they're stuck with a burden already in their present moment, okay? But if they were, they're looking from a distance, okay? And they're looking at at the people who did put the work in, who did evolve from the kind of the chaos that had occurred. Because at a particular point in the recent past, there was a portal of awakening. And those who stepped into that portal, they were, how do you say, they were chosen to step into the portal to really push forward. Okay, so now again, if they're gonna look at this person walk away from all of this stormy energy, they're looking with envy, and they're looking with jealousy, and again, envy is jealous. So they're looking with kind of this very just nasty energy, like, you know, you see like the ugly face, the, you know, kind of like, you know, just a nasty looking face, and really just the slandering and the gossiping and this kind of intention of like, yeah, you know, it's kind of this nasty low frequency thing, and it's a face of disgust, you know, it's a face of envy, and it's a face of like, you know, kind of like fuck off, fuck you, you know, this kind of hatred, right? Again, you're not paying attention to all of this. You've already been through all that. You could care less about all of that. It doesn't mean that you're not going to speak your truth, and that you're not going to stand up for yourself, and you're not going to be yourself. It doesn't mean that. It means that this, whatever this is, you already been through that. So if it were to come into your space, you would already know how to handle that. All right? Because yeah, the one and only universal power has taught you how, right? So now, the hedgehog is talking about really adapting, changing, healing, and people are seeing that, and you have this kind of golden road that you're walking down. Like, yeah, I get to move forward. It's a moment of excitement. This is exciting. That golden path was created just for you. And for each individual who put in the work through all of these storms, you were able to get out of it, right? So now, we're going to pull an additional card for here, okay? So now we know that you're moving towards privilege, towards gifting, okay? Yeah, and it's something that you need to be prideful about, right? Yeah, you're moving towards abundance. And that abundance should be, you know, taken seriously. This abundance that you're going to meet, what they're telling you is, don't get too excited when you're receiving these things, okay? However it is, right? Because abundance doesn't always mean money. It can mean, you know, new internal gifts, or a new pathway towards new relationships, new job offerings, or, you know, just new self-realizations, or, you know, just kind of connecting and growing and moving forward, okay? Whatever this abundance that's going to come into your life is something that you should be proud of. And that when you receive this, whatever it is, don't get too excited, because you could get egotistical. You know, the balance of staying humble and not being too egotistical is something that is very important when you are working with God, because if you decide to lean into your ego, it can spiral you into a place of like where you start to get angry, right? Or you start to kind of like look down at everybody, or, you know, the ego can lead to a path of you know, self-centeredness, or just a one-way street. Okay, it doesn't necessarily unite or connect, or it doesn't you know, doesn't lead to a very open mind or an open heart, right? Again, even though that's not your job, it's important to stay humble, right? It's important to have the ego, but not too much ego, right? And so when you receive it, you know, make sure you take care of it, you protect it, and you don't get, you know, caught in the imbalance of, ha ha ha, this is mine, ha ha ha, right? So Don't let that make you indecisive about what you deserve or where you're going to go. Because, again, that's where the low vibrations want you to do. They want you to question your worth. They want you to question, because this moment is really emphasizing on the lower vibrations and how the lower vibrations have been kind of, the light has been shed upon these lower vibrations. The truth has come out. And now these people are now facing the cross that they have to carry now. And they have no choice. And so it's a very dark time for these low vibrations. Like, oh shit, what did I do, right? So don't let any of this good fortune make you lose balance. It says you have been recognized and you should be proud of yourself. And you are receiving, so make sure you take good care of that. Okay? It says, let those grieving, let them grieve. Let those who are regretful, let them be regretful. It's not your job to fix them. Okay? Don't think because they're coming to you that you have to help them or that you should help them. You've done your part to grow. Let them have their part to grow. Okay? Because they will try to use you as a decoy to avoid this kind of situation. Right? They might try to, attach onto you or, do whatever it is to you so that they can walk with you. But they can't walk with you. What happens if they did try that? What would happen if they did try to, So what would happen is that they're going to, like, if they did try to do that, right? If they did try to, avoid accountability and kind of find a decoy by saying, hey, you're my friend, I love you, right? They're going to throw you off your path, right? If you accept them. Because whatever this is that they have to go through, you already been through it and you had to do it alone. You practically had to do it alone. It was a choice that you made. Because you could have easily stayed on this path of low vibrations, just doing whatever the hell you wanted to do with whoever you wanted to do it with. But you didn't. You chose to change your life. So let those grieve. Let them be regretful. You don't fix them. That's not your job. They have a purpose when it comes to this, low vibration. So you enjoy your path and you enjoy your humility, okay? And I think that's it, guys. Thank you for staying with me for a whole 55 seconds. Okay, bye.